For nearly half a century, this annual championship of the best in strength athletics has been the last word on who is the toughest, the grittiest, the strongest. To win here just once would be a career achievement for most, but win it multiple times and you are in an entirely different class. That's the case for two men today. Tom Stoltman of Great Britain will vie for a third title and continue his lifelong pursuit to become this sport's greatest of all time. And the reigning champ, the Moose, Canada's Mitchell Hooper, who's predicted his victory with a signature bravado and swagger. But such legacies don't come easy. 8 others, all just as determined and driven, look to win their first and build their own dynasties. One of them is American, Evan Singleton, who looks to avenge his past disappointments here and join the esteemed list of past champions from the US. It is the premier championship in strength athletics. The SBD World's Strongest Man final begins now.
Hello everybody and welcome to the show. We've had an incredible week here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, but today we've reached the final of the SBD World's Strongest Man. 2017 winner Eddie Hall is with us. Eddie, there's no bigger day in strongman than this.
There is not. I am super excited. How about you?
Totally pumped. Let's have a look at our 10 contenders for this year's title. It's such an international lineup. There are 3 Canadians in there. There are 2 men from Great Britain. There's a Latvian, 1 from Ukraine, 1 from New Zealand, 1 from Mexico. There's only 1 American, Evan Singleton.
Yeah, it's America versus the world. Evan's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders this year.
It certainly is. There are the winners of the past 3 World's Strongest Man competitions in the shape of Tom Stoltman, who beat Mitchell Hooper 2 years ago, and Mitchell Hooper, who returned the favour here in Myrtle Beach 12 months ago. Tom Stoltman is on a real mission to take his title back.
He is. I spoke to Tom in the interviews. He told me he's going hunting this year. What do you think he's going hunting for?
He's going hunting for moose. But is he going to catch any? We'll find out. There are 6 events to determine the winner of the 47th World's Strongest Man title. First up, it's the Giants Medley, and for that, over to our commentators Colin Bryce and first Danny Wallace.
Thank you, James. Thanks, Eddie. Danny Wallace here alongside Colin Bryce, and we're very excited to be back here, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, with another great World's Strongest Man final. The athletes are getting ready for their first event, the Kanak Giants Medley.
Yes, it's in 2 parts. A 1,000-pound super yoke has to be carried down the 20-meter course first of all, and then right back with a frame carry weighing 728 pounds. Fastest time wins or greatest distance.
Well, let's get things going. Representing Mexico, it's Andrade. First time here in the final.
Representing Canada,
going head-to-head with Derwinski from Canada. Very impressive athlete. Surprised a lot of people.
Yes, 2 new boys to World's Strongest Man, both making the final. That's huge. And they'll both want to get underway as fast as possible. It's Derwinski, closest to camera there, who's just in the lead ahead of Andrade, the Mexican who lives in Texas, former wrestler, former football player. He's a powerhouse for sure.
He is. Very powerful Texican. And these tool storage boxes go down onto the next set.
Well, both men have completed the first half of this. Now on to this farmer's walk. It's a frame carry. And look at this, Andrade. He's put the afterburners down here. Oh, his grip's gone. And Derwinski's back in the lead. These 2 goes down. This is a really hard part to the course. 740 pounds and Andrade's over the line.
He's done it. Excellent work there. Representing Mexico. Derwinski looks beaten by these chests.
He's running out of time. He's got 8 seconds left. 2 yards to go. Can he drive it over the line?
He can do this, and he will.
Yes, he does. Just. What was the time?
Just making the distance.
Tenths of a second, innit? It felt like.
Let's hear it for Wesley Derwinski.
Well, you need the big grip there, that's for sure. And Andrade certainly proved that. 59.2 seconds, so he had 8/10 to spare to make the whole course.
And 40.61, well ahead so far Austin Andrade.
I think that'll be quite a tough time to beat. Obviously, we still have 4 pairs to go. So some great names, but that's a great benchmark for the others now.
Representing Great Britain.
Well, having watched that, made a few notes. Europe's strongest man, Luke Stoltman, representing Britain.
Representing
Paired up against
Ukraine,
the mighty Ukrainian, Kordiaka, handsome Pav, they call him, hiding what is usually a very impressive haircut.
Yes, both men, Europe's strongest man, title winners.
On the whistle.
Both men very fast and agile. And it's Stoltman with those giant legs of his who gets away first, but goes down. That's surprising. Perhaps he's got his pickup a little too high. Got to be careful. You see the backs of those boxes can just clip the ground and you'll go down. Well, it's Kordiaka, the Ukrainian, who's on to this frame carry first. Both men should have a pretty good grip here. Oh no, he's torn a callus off straight away. 740 pounds is not easy, and neither man looks comfortable at all here.
No, this is not a comfortable performance. Kordiaka looks to be beaten at this stage.
20 seconds, Lou.
What does Stoltman have in him? He has around 15 seconds left, 10 seconds left now.
Well, he's taken some skin off Kordiaka, and he just doesn't think it's worth going any harder at it. He'll just take more off. Once you've got that slippery part to your hand, it's just going to give way all the easier. Now, Andrade suddenly looks very, very good. So too Dawinski.
Well, absolutely. 20.99 metres for Kordiaka.
27.43 meters. Give it up.
Sliding into third. He'll be disappointed with that. 27.43 for Stoltman.
Yes, if Kordiaka hadn't have done worse, I think he'd feel very bad about himself right now, Luke. But certainly shows how difficult this task is. The super yoke, okay, that's not so difficult at 1,000 pounds. These guys are the top 10 in the world, but that frame carry is.
Well, a great start for the Mexican rookie Andrade, but 6 more powerhouse strongmen still left to compete, including 2 prior champions, Hooper and Stoltman. The competition is fierce, anything could happen. More Giants medley when we return to the SBD World's Strongest Man.
CBS Sports Spectacular 2024 SBD World's Strongest Man is sponsored by SBD, proudly supporting the world's strongest athletes. Visit Myrtle Beach, 60 miles of where you belong. The WSM Store, level up your strength, power up with World's Strongest Man gear. And by Conan, beyond maximum security.
Well, welcome back to the SBD World's Strongest Man final. And the continuation of Event 1, the Conan Giants medley.
Tristan Ho.
And it's a Canadian. Hoth next to take on these giant storage boxes.
Representing
Up against
Latvia,
the Latvian,
Schmokstelis.
familiar face, Schmokstelis.
Tristan Hoeth, Canada's strongest cop for sure, maybe the world's strongest cop. As for Ivor Schmokstelis, closest to camera. He's such a seasoned campaigner. He's been here before. He'd love to get up inside the top 5 of World's Strongest Man, though. He's probably in the best shape of his life, and he's looking good so far. Hoeth just scraped the back of his security boxes there. He's not got the best pickup.
So steady and balanced. Schmokstelis.
Ooh, looks a little out of puff here, Schmokstelis. Just taking his time here, and it's Hoeth, the policeman, who charges ahead here. He knows what he's got to beat. 40.61 is our lead at the moment.
Schmokstelis looks beaten. Not so. Hoeth. What more can he give? Very strong, isn't he?
Just to do 740 pounds on its own as a carry for over 60 foot is difficult, but yeah, he's run out of time trying to chalk himself up there. But after that super yoke, when your legs totally drained, it's killer.
Let's hear it.
Well, 21.96 puts Schmokstelis 5th so far. Moving, in all likelihood, into 3rd.
Give it up for Tristan Ho.
35.54.
He's always solid, isn't he? His first year here at World's Strongest Man, he's really impressed, Tristan Hoeth. Slots himself into 3rd, but we still have the big guns to come.
Well, Evan Singleton up next. His energy outpaces nearly every other competitor. Let's learn more about him in his SBD power profile.
Evan Singleton, 31 years old, 350 pounds, 6'6", representing the United States. This will be my 5th year competing at World's Strongest Man. The plan is to win. Body's feeling fantastic, have 0 complaints. Strongest and fastest I've ever been. I don't care who is standing in front of me. I do not care how hard this battle will be. I will come out on top. 30 of the greatest strongman athletes in the entire world all assemble in one spot. There's just an aura that follows that, and it's awesome to be a part of that. These are the memories and the moments that you'll hold close to your heart for the rest of your life. That's another reason why I love coming here every year. What helps motivate me is I think about all the people that said that I couldn't. My motivation is standing on the top of the podium, looking at all of the people who told me no, and laughing.
Well, so determined. His body giving him 0 complaints, he says. There'll be no excuses from Evan Singleton.
His best ever finish is 5th place. He'd like to get on the podium at least this year.
Representing New Zealand.
And from New Zealand,
Matthew Ragg.
Antipodean strongman Matthew Ragg.
Yes, he made the final first time last year.
You ready?
And this year, I think
On
he's
the
looking
whistle.
for much more. He certainly has the potential, but it's Evan Singleton who wastes no time at all getting underway, blocking out the view of where the other man is. Matthew Ragg looking positively slow here. Look at this from Singleton. He's charging down crosses the line in 15 seconds.
Everything Singleton shows us these days is a statement of intent.
Now, will his grip give out? He's burned less energy, but he must have burned it at a higher intensity. Almost to the line!
Goodness me.
Ooh, he's got his foot caught under there.
This is not good, and this could require the help of some other strongmen.
Well, it's got catches at the bottom. He's definitely got it caught under there. It's going to be smarting, but how bad he's hurt, I don't know. Matt Ragg still continuing his go here. He's got 10 seconds to go, but I think he's finished as the medics call in help here. He's onto his feet, though.
We've never seen that before.
And time's running out. Well, the drama. Matt Ragg doesn't finish. Singleton does. But drags his foot under the back of this frame carry. Goodness me. 28.9 meters then. 5th place for Matty Ragg.
While Singleton, well, gave it his all. He might have a few complaints about his body now.
Giants Medley with a time of 30.21. The T-Rex.
All he cares about is the time.
30.21. I mean, he did it, but at what cost?
Who knows? Well, he's not hobbling off for the medics, so I'm guessing you can see where the catches have been built in for safety. Thank goodness. Woo!
Ooh, it's not pleasant.
His size 19 feet is folded backwards.
The roar of an injured T-Rex.
Last out at the Conan Giants Medley, representing Great Britain. The former
Well, we always hope for
two-times
drama.
SBD
We can hope for a little less
World's
drama.
Strongest Man,
Yes.
Tom Stoltman.
Tom Stoltman then. 2-time world's strongest man and wants it back.
Representing Canada.
Up
the
against,
reigning
my goodness me, the man who can do
World's
anything.
Strongest Man,
Mitchell Hooper.
He really is a Superman, isn't he? Super Hooper.
Take position.
3rd World's Strongest Man appearance, and his 2nd, he won it. He is
On
the
the
reigning
whistle.
champion, closest to camera.
What will be going through these men's mind as they are paired up against each other? A reigning world's strongest man.
Look at this! Singleton did 15 seconds. Oh, the Moose trips at 10, but still does it in 12.
Goodness me. And Stoltman, slower, steady, hoping for errors like that from Mitchell.
He's just rushing it a little bit, isn't he? How much did he lose having to pick that super yoke back up again? And Tom Stoltman's seen his chance, and he's going for it. Goodness me, will he go down before the line? Can he do the whole thing? Not quite.
He wants that title back. It was Hooper that took it from him, and not this year, says Stoltman.
Well, will Hooper even finish this at all? His hands must be hurting now. 52 seconds. He just will not give up, though.
He's so frustrated, isn't he?
Oh, can't imagine the state of his hands.
Goodness me.
With a distance of 34.
Well, 34.59 puts him in sixth place.
Well, that is a real shock.
Time of 41.26.
Dreadful start for Hooper. Not a bad one for Tom, though.
41.26 for Tom Stoltman.
Well, perhaps luckily for Hooper, Stoltman didn't rush ahead and get the win there. Just 3 points in it then. Big Tom, though, saw his chance to catch. As for Hooper, well, yes, his hands are indeed in a pretty bad state.
And it is the only American in the field, Evan Singleton, who takes the first event win, 10 points. The rookie from Mexico, second. And our defending champ falls short, finishing in sixth. Still plenty of competition left. And an amazing win for that guy, Singleton. But can he carry on that momentum through the next daunting event, or will he fall flat? Max Axel, when we're back with the SBD World's Strongest Man. Well, welcome back to Myrtle Beach and the SBD World's Strongest Man final. The athletes are taking on the next event, the Max Axel.
Yes, rather like Olympic lifting, you have to clean it up to your chest and then press it overhead to locked arm's length. We started at 375 pounds, but we've already got all the way up to 440 pounds. Pavlo Kordiaka of Ukraine hitting his PB. Luke Stoltman, however, the Scotsman, failed 420, his best, but then it was the turn of Hooper, nailing it. As for the other brother, Stoltman, well, Big Tom missed it at the first attempt, but then nailed 440 to draw even with Hooper and Kordiaka.
The SBD
Kordiaka
World's
decided not to go any
Strongest
further.
Man, the Moose,
Mitchell Hooper will try stopping him. 462 pounds, the next weight.
Yes, we've gone up to not a million miles away from the world record now. This is a huge weight. You see how strapped up Mitchell Hooper's left hand in particular is. He really minced it in that frame carry, and it won't make this any easier. One big hit. Yes! Oh! Yes, he does!
What a recovery! What a battler! Super Hooper really is. Stoltman not so happy with that.
Well, Magnus Sven Magnusson was watching that, and he wasn't going to give him the lift until he fully stabilised. And he was quite right to as well. It looked like Hooper had it there, locked arms, but he was walking backwards. He'd gone soft, but then managed just to stiffen it all up for a split second. That's all you need.
The 2 times SBD World's Strongest Man,
Tom Stoltman then.
Stoltman.
Well, if Big Tom equals him, we'll just keep that 3-point lead from the first event ticking over, unless, of course, Hooper goes up towards the world record. You never know.
Look of determination. It shifts up to the chest.
He's got incredible pressing power for such a tall man. Ooh. Yes!
Wow! There were moments there I didn't think that was going to happen.
When you have legs as big as his, why don't you use them? But Big Tom, no problem in the arms. He's just a phenom of strength, he really is. And it looks like they're both going to stop there. It will be a draw on 462 pounds for the 2 giants of the sport.
So what does that mean? Well, it means that Tom Stoltman has managed to push into the lead with 17.5 points, just 1.5 ahead of Singleton. The rookie Andrade just 2.5 points off the lead. Hooper in 4th. And another classic event ahead, but with a twist. The athletes will see just how high a keg can be tossed over a bar. Will a world record be broken? Find out next when we return to the SBD World's Strongest Man. Stay in the know with CBS Sports HQ, a 24/7 free network that brings you the latest news, picks, scores and highlights from all the sports you love. Watch CBS Sports HQ anywhere, anytime, all the time. Well, welcome back to what may be one of the most iconic strongman events, the keg toss. Though there is a twist, Colin.
But I just love this event, Danny.
Yep.
You have to try and throw this keg, which weighs 15 kilograms, about 33 pounds, over a bar. It gets higher and higher, just like a high jump contest. And if you get it over and stay in, you go to the next next height. Now, you get 3 attempts at each height, and Ivar Smaug-Stellis, well, he managed to do 7 meters in round 3. Also, Dawinski matching that without a problem. He's talking about world record stuff. We'll have to wait and see. Matty Rag, too, went clear at the 7-meter mark. But the Scotsman, Luke Stoltman, I'm afraid he came up short. So too Andrade, just missing. But as for Evan Singleton, my goodness me, low-flying planes are in trouble. Successful at 7 meters, and so too Mitchell Hooper. Just doing enough. As for Big Tom, just scraped it over at the 7-meter mark, so he stays in. And we go higher. 7.5 meters, Dawinski nails it. Singleton stays in the game, just. And Hooper, as ever, cool as ice. Pressure on Big Tom, who struggled at 7 meters, but he gained and went easily over 7.5. So we go even higher. 7.76 meters, the new world record height. Singleton misses. We have 3 to go.
Representing Canada, Wesley Dawinski.
What can you say? A classic, iconic event. And this twist really working.
On the whistle.
That bar just getting higher. So Brian Shaw's record, he's got 3 attempts at this, 7.75. If he gets this, well, it's a world record.
First attempt.
Goodness me.
Smokes it. Singleton fails, but he nails it. Dawinski, only 6'2". I thought his height might be a problem. Let's see how explosive he is in the lower back and legs. Coming off the ground there. He's an impressive thrower for sure.
Strongest man. Give it up from
By a
Mitchell
centimeter, he's the new world record holder.
Well, will he be sharing that record?
Match that, Mitch. Let's see. Certainly wouldn't bet against Mitch Hooper, that's for sure.
No. Angle off. Never mind. On to the second keg.
That came up about 6, 8, 10 inches short, and I think it was pretty much near the apex. I'm not sure he's got this one. Oh! I eat my words.
What are you saying, Colin? What was that you said?
I was saying how good he is. Well done, Mitchell Hooper. Wow. Shutting up the doubters, that's for sure.
Oh, equaling the new world record. Just rolling that over.
Give it up for Tom.
Can't be much more in this. Well, Big Tom, he was pretty woeful at 7 meters, just scraping it over, then cleared it easily at 7.5. What's he going to do at 7.76? He's only got the height advantage. Just has to make a difference. Ooh!
Oh! This could go on forever.
I don't think so. I think 3 men scraped over. I'm not sure he can go much higher here. He throws it somewhat awkwardly. Doesn't get the perfect rotation on it, but it somehow worked and crawled over. Well, we would go again, 10 centimeters higher, but Dawinski, he couldn't manage it. Neither could Mitchell Hooper, though he certainly peppered the bar. Final man, Tom Stoltman. Could he break the world record once again and grab the victory? Oof. So close to this final one, but no cigar, I'm afraid.
Still nice to have a world record, even if it's shared. So Tom Stoltman grows his lead, now 3 points ahead of second. Hooper leapfrogs into second place, making his way to catch up to Stoltman. Singleton has dropped to third. Good to see he's not too injured. He's still in the fight. Now a contest filled with iconic events would not be complete without the Rain Total Body Fuel Conan's Wheel. The competition continues when we return to the SBD World Strongest Man Final. Well, just along the coast of the beautiful Myrtle Beach shores, we're holding the #1 strength athletic contest in the world, the SBD World Strongest Man Final. And up next, the Rain Total Body Fuel Conan's Wheel.
551 pounds will be in the arms as they stand up with this enormous weight and try and carry it around for as many revolutions as is possible. This is a real mind over matter game, and Pavlo Kordiaka managed 922 degrees over 2 full turns. Massive. As for Tristan Hoeth, the policeman from Canada, he currently sits in third, 640 degrees. Just behind him, Luke Stoltman, 527 degrees for the Scotsman. Andrade, Mexico's first ever finalist, managed over 1 turn.
Representing the United
526
States,
degrees, and it's the turn of Evan Singleton now, the sole American in this final.
Yes, doing it all for America, for that flag.
Get set.
Lives in Nashville now, was brought up in Pennsylvania. Was a terrific college and high school wrestler before actually joining the WWE. Some certain injuries ended that career, and now he's in strongman, and boy, has he found himself in the right place. He's so talented at this, and he can dig in and go for it when he needs to, and he's going to have to in this event as he goes round 1 full revolution. 550 pounds in the arms, but is he breathing? He's barely getting any air in those lungs.
Well, this is one of those events where we do see people pass out, and we might just have seen that. Certainly blacked out for a second. Complete lack of oxygen, carrying all that on the chest.
You can see it there. Perhaps has it just a little too high, actually. There's just no way the chest can pull any air in. You can see he's trying to suck in a little bit, but it's just not working.
Representing Canada, Wesley Derwinski.
Onto the Canadian. It's so incredibly well with that keg toss. Setting that world record that was then equalled, but still setting it.
He's such a tough guy, this Derwinski. He's a small package, if you like, for a World's Strongest Man final. At about 6'2" and, well, 300 pounds, if that, which is pretty small for these guys, but he's so athletic. That's his key, and he's really thick and muscular in the back. Well, goes a full revolution. Remember Pavlo Kordiaka, he went almost 3 revolutions. Extraordinary. 1.5. He's surpassed Singleton.
Well, that's that. Goodness me, just that moment. Was it because he knew he'd passed Singleton? He could afford himself a moment of release. 681 degrees, puts him in third.
There is always a bit of that, isn't there?
Yeah.
You set yourself a goal. Probably his goal was, beat the American. He wants to beat Singleton. He's a Canadian, and he did that. That mental advantage of going after Singleton.
Representing Canada.
Well, Hooper always likes a benchmark. That's the thing about him. Never set him a benchmark, because that is what he will go all out to beat, and he knows 922 is there for the taking.
He will beat it. You couldn't have said it any better. He just hunts down marks and takes them out for pleasure. But 922 degrees, I mean, it's a huge ask of anybody here. We'll see how he does. Coming around towards that first revolution mark. Look, those 2 extra lines on the floor, that's where you're allowed a 1 meter pickup point.
Well,
but once you pass that, you can't drop it.
He is starting to struggle, to stagger, to fight for breath.
Well, he's going to go down there.
This is just about the numbers now. Whatever he can squeeze out.
Typical Hooper, he's hanging on by his thumbs. Barely, he's actually interlocked his fingers to try and hang on longer. Oh, that must be hurting on his hands
This
now.
is extraordinary.
2.25. 2.25 revolutions. It's got to be 800 and something. That's impressive.
821 degrees. So close, but might as well have been a million miles away.
Yes, indeed. I mean, he doesn't beat Kordiaka. He's 100 degrees behind him, but he goes into second. Stoltman's still to come, of course. But you can see the agony. That was a victory in itself, hanging on there after it slipped.
The 2 times SBD
Onto Stoltman
World's
then.
Strongest Man, the big yin.
He's done this before. He knows what he can do.
Yes, he's in a good position, good mental space right now, everything. He's in the lead by 3 points ahead of Hooper. Hooper's the one who has to do the catching. But last year, if you remember, in this very event, he just wasn't on form at all. He was very wobbly in the midsection. He held it too high. At least it's lower down his chest this time. A little bit lower. Still too high for my liking, but he gets one revolution.
It's not smooth, is it?
Just, you can see where he's starting to wobble now as his core is getting weaker. He's holding it too high.
Come on, Tom.
Kind of a jagged performance, if that makes any sense. They still have that mighty strength, that height.
He's taken out Dowinski, he's taken out Singleton. He couldn't even get Hooper, no, not quite.
He's carrying on his thumbs by the end.
777
Well,
degrees.
777 for Stoltman. Slides him into third.
I can imagine this was the one event that was a real fear of being a stumbling block for Stoltman, having performed badly in it last year, but that was very impressive and gutsy, to say the least.
Gutsy's the word. So Tom Stoltman continues his dominance, remaining at the top of the leaderboard. Hooper nipping at his toes in second, just 2 points behind. And for the next event, is James and Eddie.
2 events to go and just 2 points between the reigning champion Mitchell Hooper and the current leader Tom Stoltman as we head into the BF Goodrich Tyres HD Terrain Deadlift for reps. Eddie Hall is the world record holder in deadlift. Eddie, talk us through what's required here.
Well, the setup height is what you'd see in a normal gym, but we've got a 12-foot long bar, it's a lot thicker, and also these great big massive tyres as well. They're going to be bouncing around when they're doing the reps, so it's going to be pulling them forward, backward, left, right. This is a much harder pull than a standard deadlift.
All right, heavier as well, 825 pounds. Now, Tom's got that 2-point lead, but Mitchell is going to go out after him, so he's going to know what he has to beat.
Yeah, that's a great advantage going out last on the deadlift, knowing exactly what you've got to do. I mean, regardless, I think Mitch would win this event. It's probably going to be around 8 to 10 reps, and Tom has got a lot to sort of maintain. He's definitely not going to beat Mitch on this, but he's just got to hope that no one gets in between him and Mitch too much to separate those points.
See, who's got the fire then? Who's going to be too tired? We'll find out when we return on the SBD World's Strongest Man.
Coming up next, an Eastern Conference battle in the United Soccer League between Detroit City FC and Rhode Island FC. Right here on CBS and streaming live on Paramount+.
Well, welcome back to the SBD World's Strongest Man final and the 5th event in the competition, the BF Goodrich Tyres HD Terrain Deadlift.
825 pounds in the hands, has to be lifted up and down for as many reps as possible in 60 seconds.
Simple as that, up and down, most reps wins.
Well, let's take a look at who's gone so far. Ivar Smaukstelis, 3 reps, this must be heavy. As for Austin Andrade, currently tied in second on 6. The American Singleton, 5 reps for him, currently in 4th. 4 reps for Luke Stoltman, he's in 5th. Wesley Dowinski, well, 6 reps ties Andrade, but Tristan Hoeth, the Canadian cop, leads on 7. That is huge.
That's a big ask for a big man. Tom Stoltman up next, here to regain his title as strongest in the world. Here's more from him in his SBD Power Profile.
Tom Stoltman, 6'8", 403 pound, representing UK, Scotland. I am here to win World's Strongest Man for a 3rd time. I feel unbelievable, mentally, physically. Last year, obviously, losing the title, the better athlete won in the day. Like I said, I'm back here, very, very, very hungry to take the title back. I've proved that I'm one of the best in the world, one of the greatest, and myself and Luke know that when we're together, there's not many people that have the amount of energy we have. We intimidate a lot of people. We're a team all the way through to the final, and that's what we did in 2021-22. All you guys need to hear, Tom Stoltman feeling unbelievable, 100%. I went and got a sports psychologist, and it is honestly the best thing I've ever done in my life. I've been doing a lot of breathing stuff, so I can raise my heart rate by sitting here. I can get my heart rate down by sitting here. My mindset's back to where it should be, and I feel like invincible. My title's gone missing for a year, and it's coming back home to Scotland 100%.
Representing
He wants it back.
Great Britain, Tom
Feels that
Stoltman.
Hooper stole it off him.
How dare he?
Representing
Thinks
New
it belongs
Zealand,
in Scotland.
Matthew Ryan.
Going up against the man who'd like to take it pretty much as far away from Scotland as you can.
Yeah.
New Zealand.
On the opposite side of the earth, Matt Ragg, and he's a great deadlifter, Ragg. So I have to say, Tristan Hoth, 7 reps, is incredibly impressive.
Down.
This is not going to be easy to beat that. Stoltman starts off a bit quicker. Ragg took his time with the first one, but he's getting into the swing of things now.
We are bearing down on 7. Stoltman onto a comfortable 6. And now a less comfortable 7.
But he's bettered his big brother, Luke, who did 4. Singleton only did 5, so Ragg's gone ahead of him. Both on 7 now. Goodness me, a 3-way tie. Can either of these men beat it, take the lead?
Well, he's looking exhausted. 10 seconds to go. Can he do it? It's a no from Stoltman, but look, Ragg, 8. Goodness me.
Snatches it right at the end. He just timed his break there much better than Tom did. Tom went too early.
7 reps.
Still had 10 seconds to go. He could have rested for 5 more seconds. I think he might have got that then.
Well, impressive 7 then for Stoltman, but wow. Setting a new benchmark. Matthew Ragg, 8.
2 big guns still to come. Kordiaka and Hooper in particular. He could beat 8. He needs it now, I tell you. Though Tom going down at 7 might have just done him a favour.
What is it we were saying during the Conan's wheel? Never set this man a benchmark. It's just taken almost as a rude challenge. So Hooper will be aiming for that 9. So too, of course, Kordiaka, who impressed so hugely in that Conan's wheel.
Huge performance in the Conan's wheel, but his Achilles heel, Kordiaka, I'm afraid, his deadlift, his lower back just isn't as powerful as some of the others. On the other hand, Hooper lifted one of the biggest lifts ever in strongman 2 years ago. So he could be good for the win here, Hooper. But he's going off slow and steady at the beginning.
Well, he really studies these events. The psychology of them, what he needs to do, the time he can take.
Let's just not forget his hands are totally smashed apart from that first frame carry event as well. You can see from his face he's not comfortable at all.
Yes, you don't need to be a body language expert, do you, to see who's having some trouble there. And Kordiaka is just rooted to the spot right now.
Just the 1 rep for the Ukrainian. He walks off disappointed, but not unexpected. Now, does Hooper have time to pull out a 7th? He better get going.
Well, that's that. 6 then for Hooper. Just 1 for Kordiaka, as you say, his Achilles heel.
With 6 reps, let's hear it for Mitchell
6 reps
Hooper.
for Hooper. 4th place, tied. He's worth more for sure. Those hands have really hurt his chances of hanging on to the World's Strongest Man title again. And he's running out of time to do it as well.
All of which means that Stoltman enhances his lead to 4.5 points over Hooper in 2nd. Great place to stand at this point in the competition. The American Singleton holds fast in 3rd. Tom Stoltman has nearly solidified his place as this year's champion, but 1 more iconic event remains before he can take his crown. The Atlas Stones, when we return to the SBD World's Strongest Man.
CBS Sports Spectacular 2024 SBD World's Strongest Man is sponsored by SBD, proudly supporting the world's strongest athletes. The WSM Store. Level up your strength. Power up with World's Strongest Man gear. Visit Myrtle Beach, 60 miles of where you belong. And by Conan, beyond maximum security.
And this is it. This is what it's all been leading to. We are moments away from knowing who will be crowned this year's World's Strongest Man. 1 event stands between that man and glory, the Atlas Stones.
Starting at 310 pounds, finishing on 463. 5 stones to finish. Time limit 60 seconds. Few will get all on the platform. Well, we started with Andrade. 24.42 seconds. He managed just 3 stones. As for Dawinski, 3 in 30.8. Final 2 pairs then.
Matthew Ragg.
Now Matthew Ragg, currently in 4th place. Just a hugely impressive competitor, and this man,
the T-Rex,
representing the United States, on his own. All hopes rest with Evan Singleton.
Well, he finished 5th at the World's Strongest Man final last year. This is his chance. He hops. You can see he's carrying that injury on his right leg from that accident that happened in the first event, the frame carry. But he goes ahead here. Remember, he is 6'6". He's got the height advantage over Ragg. He's tremendous at stone lifting. If he can just stay ahead of him, he will get on the podium for America.
Singleton has really battled through what could have been a more serious injury earlier on. He's just been ignoring it because he has to get through.
Yeah, he just has no option. Matty Ragg, he plops on the 3rd. Singleton fails on the 4th. Is this a window of opportunity for Matt Ragg?
Singleton just working on that pine resin on his hands, that tacky that allows them a little extra grip.
Oh no, Ragg gets on the 4th. Goodness me, this will come down to points now. And who gets in between them as to exactly how these men finish. If Ragg gets the 5th, he could eclipse Singleton. Oh, goodness me, where are we at after that?
A look of despair and frustration on the face of Evan Singleton. Taking applause, but really able to look the crowd in the eye.
I'm not sure it's all over yet. Matt Ragg's stones, his 4 stones were pretty slow. He might have only just beaten Singleton by a place there. We'll have to wait and see with the last 2. Now that is deflating for Evan. Worry to lose that podium place.
Representing
Never seen him struggle so badly on the stones.
SBD World's Strongest Man.
Well, here we go.
Mitchell Hooper.
Mitchell Super Hooper, the current world's strongest man.
Representing Great Britain.
Up against the man he took the title
SBD
from,
World's Strongest Man,
who turned up here to Myrtle Beach to get it back.
Well, if Tom were going to pick an event that was a banker, he'd pick the Atlas Stones, that's for sure. He's just magnificent at this. But there's only one man in the world, I'd say, who could pull out a performance to beat him, and that'd be Mitchell Hooper. He's just a bag of tricks, Mitchell Hooper. You never know quite how brilliant he will be. But things running to form at the moment. Big Tom is going through the motions. He looks like he'll get his 3rd title.
Well, Big Tom doing what Big Tom does.
On goes the 4th. If he puts this 5th one up, that's it. He is the world's strongest man.
And Tom Stoltman is the world's strongest man. He knows her, it's fine. That's his wife, Sinead, over the moon. And Mitchell Hooper, nothing if not a good sport.
Yes, well said. Tremendous sportsmanship there. His wife Ashley coming up and giving him a kiss of consolation, but good on him. He loses his title, but he takes it like a true man. Well done, Mitch. Well done, Tom Stoltman. 3 times world's strongest man.
You have to wonder how many times in the future these 2 men will swap the title back and forth between them.
I think we're in the midst of a new era, to be honest. Hooper was outstanding, and he battled the whole way through to try and come back from the first event, but the giant of this sport, Tom Stoltman, finishes it off in style. The only man to do all 5 stones.
So he's our winner. Last year's champ, Mitchell Hooper, stands 2nd. Singleton finally makes his way onto the podium with 3rd. But Stoltman is with James and Eddie now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2024 SBD World's Strongest Man, Tom Stoltman. Tom, you got your title back.
Yeah, it went, I just wanted to go away from last year and change a few things, and it's all paid off. Hard work, what a team I've got around me, what a family, and I wasn't going home empty-handed this year.
Let me just say some names to you. Bill Kazmar, Marius Pudzianowski, John Pot Sigurdsson, Magnus von Magnusson, Big Z, Zydrunas Savickas, Brian Shaw, and now we can add to that list Tom Stoltman, the only man in history to win this title 3 times at least. You are now one of the legends.
Yeah, I'm just trying to head on my shoulders, and 29 years old. I won this 3 times. It's special, but there's a lot more to come from me.
A lot more to come. Eddie Hall, what words can you give for Tom Stoltman?
It's just amazing. I mean, the events you've had in this show were not suited for you, and you've still come and you've won it, which is absolutely amazing. Losing last year, did that put the fire back in your belly to come back and win it? And how many World's Strongest Man titles do you want under your belt? The record is 5.
I mean, Mitchell Hooper came here and we had to up our standard. He's an amazing talent, and I knew that I had to do something special to beat him. And in the gym's all right, but it's what you do out the gym as well. And yeah, Mariusz Pudzianowski, I'm coming for that number 5.
Tom Stoltman, what are you?
3-time World's Strongest Man, baby.
Tom Stoltman, everybody.
Well, he's 2 off of what he wants to be. 5, that's his goal. Maybe 6 to beat Pudzianowski.
Well, his family wants 7, but the founder of SBD, Ben Banks, gives Luke Stoltman the trophy to pass off to his brother, who once again is the world's strongest man. So another great year for the sport of strongman, another great year for Tom Stoltman. For James Richardson, Eddie Hall and Colin Bryce, I'm Danny Wallace in association with 45 Live. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports.